Thank you for having me. I'm Emir Kapetanović, or Emir Kapetanović. It means captain. Captain, literally my name and last name are Captain. I'm a film director living in LA, originally from Bosnia Herzegovina, Balkans, ex-Yugoslavia, Southeastern Europe. I'll make a longer introduction about myself, not because I like to talk about myself, it's because I want to talk to you based on some things that I did as I was your age. Now I'm talking to students. But first I'd like to hear from you, just your first and last name and why are you here? So I'm Emir Kapetanović. I was born in a country that doesn't exist anymore. That name of country was Yugoslavia. Nowadays Bosnia Herzegovina. This is the sad part. I'm a war child, spent 4 years under the siege, comes the fun part. And in Sarajevo the war stopped and the hip-hop was on rise. As a 7-year-old, when war stopped, we had like some improvised satellites, cable TV, we watched MTV. Rap was at its height because it was the time when they were doing most socially engaged stuff, like the Tupac was on top. He would get killed like a couple months after the war started in Bosnia. So everyone was into hip-hop. Then American soldiers, who were peace troops, they were bringing, this is not a session about hip-hop, I didn't mix it up, I'm getting there. They were bringing cassettes, so the kids were listening to cassettes, and I wanted to become a hip-hop artist. I was making songs, socially engaged songs, throughout my elementary school, and somewhere when I started high school I figured out I suck at hip-hop, but I was good at filming my friends doing hip-hop, so I started doing music videos. I was doing music videos and parallelly with that editing them and going to different workshops plus video section in my high school where a lot of people would be telling me things that I couldn't really understand, like that I understand now and I'm trying to simplify when I'm talking to other students. So I started studying film, TV and theater directing. I graduated directing for both film and theater, and I was without a job. In a small community, it's a capital city, I'm talking about still about Bosnia and Herzegovina. Small city, amazing art world, but as probably some of you come from smaller communities, when you come from smaller communities you have like top 5 in everything, and it's hard to get there until they die and they live too long. So you get I would be your age. If I followed the rules, I would be your age when they would give me an opportunity to make a first film. No puns intended.
No worries.
I respect what you've done. I'm just telling from the perspective of professional.
I was in Bosnia with the US Army.
Okay, so you know that. Thank you for sharing that.
I admire what you went through. I admire what you went through.
Yeah. Thank you. Have you been there after?
I've been to Croatia since.
Okay.
Croatia is doing
Croatia
very
is
well.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't been back to Bosnia.
We're doing well too. We have our shakes, but we're doing better. I graduated directing, jobless, can't wait for the filmmakers to die, can't do nothing about it. I form with artists, with a group of artists, we form an NGO called Magazine Cabaret, which means warehouse cabaret. We start doing cabarets, but political cabarets, no naked bodies and stuff. We were doing like political satire, but I still want to make a movie. I'm doing good and the whole company is doing good we become the best independent theater in the city, then in the country, but I want to make movie. I'm talking about, so the keywords are hustle and director as a ninja warrior. Those are 2 words I'll be using throughout the workshop. What do? I see At that time, unlike as of 2 months ago, there was USAID and US Embassy, and people were funding and doing soft diplomacy, which was amazing thing because I witnessed it through 15 countries in Europe. They post a call for a grant where they say, we're looking for art projects that will empower young people to talk about Dayton Peace Agreement. Dayton Peace Agreement is the peace agreement signed in Dayton, first in Paris, then in Dayton, Ohio, that stopped war in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So I was like, okay, I know I already had workshops for young people, filmmaking and theater workshops. How do I make a movie out of this? Okay, I'll do workshops, they'll give me money for that. This is all, we can cut out these parts. They'll give me money for that, but I have budgeted a photographer, so why don't I film the whole process? So basically I went to 6 cities of Bosnia and did art workshops and helped young people make theater piece on first generation of Bosnians born in peace in Bosnia and Herzegovina. With the footage that I had in an extra, we edited it, and I had my first documentary. With that documentary, I was here, 2016 or 2017. It's called Children of Peace. When I did that, all organizations, and as the two of you know, there are a lot of international organizations that, until a couple of years ago, that were investing into different art projects and were helping people. Then everyone realized, oh, Americans started doing movies. We want to do it. Then everyone started, like every NGO in the country were doing movies. And in 2018, I did another documentary.
NGO, non-governmental.
Yeah, CSO, and you would call it non-government. NGOs are basically non-governmental organizations that give grants. Yeah. So then in 2018, I made with United States. I made a United States government project called Regeneration. I made a movie where we traveled to 10 cities of Bosnia. It was on a larger scale, interviewing politicians, war veterans, victims, doing stuff that no one has done before, like try to cover all narratives of the conflict. They saw that's working. They're like, okay, let's do it. And we promoted it in DC. They're like, oh, let's do it throughout Europe. So then I spent 2 years they would send me to countries where war would start in 6 months without me knowing that, to help young politicians and young people who are pro-US. So I went to USSR countries, ex-USSR countries, to help young activists and politicians who were pro-Western, to help them do filmmaking, to help them share their ideas on democracy through videos.
You use an important term, soft power.
Hmm?
That
Soft
you use
power.
a
Soft
soft
power,
power, informational,
Yeah.
communicating our visions to the people in the street.
And that helped a lot in the countries that I visit. So that's how this is the part of how to make living, but we're doing something it is your job and it isn't at the same time. So those are 2 examples, but we're gonna get there. So after I've done that, I started making. Then the COVID hit, and I was able to focus back on my first feature film. My first feature film was screened here a couple hours ago. It's called When Santa Was a Communist. I was attached to a project in 2016, but we managed to make it into 2023. 2024 was premiere, and now it's touring at the festivals. I'm mentioning this my whole career, I'm mentioning it because your career here might have been different when I was studying, but now I realize that we're all in the same bucket in terms of you need to be your own boss, you need to be your own. It doesn't mean that you need to write, direct, edit and stuff. No one can, but you need to. Initiative needs to be on you, and it's all on you as a director, as an artist, I had a great mentor in college who was telling that to his actors. He was working with actors as well. Like, actor cannot be actor anymore. You need to be performer, you need to be writer, you need to be. For directors, he was telling that, but my teachers were teaching us that director is like God walking on earth, and you have your job and everyone is below you, which kind of works for your confidence until you're out of college, and then you're like, where's the job? And you don't have it. So I'll go through what does a director do 101 thing, and then I'm going to walk you through, we'll go back to the beginning of a presentation, and I'll try to give you some tips from what I've been doing, working on my first feature and before. So that's why I want this to be interactive. I want also students to ask something, if something is not clear. I'll be asking you a lot. My accent sounds scary, but when I'm asking you, I'm not accusing you or something. I'm trying to get into interaction. I need to say this because I teach a lot in LA, and when I teach, they're like, oh, this crazy Russian is about to kill us all. No, that is just that kind of accent. So, what does a director do? There are no stupid answers. Whatever you want, you can say.
He's the pilot.
He's the pilot, okay?
When he sets the direction, the tone.
What kind of direction?
Okay, okay, I think tone is perhaps a better word.
Mm-hmm.
What is this story really about? I'm a writer.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I approach screenwriting. First thing I do when I'm writing a project, I write the ending first.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what is the final image, what is the emotion I want my viewer or my reader to have when they complete it, and then where does this story really happen? What's the latest I can start the story and it still not be confusing? Then how can I realistically get from where we began to my desired ending? And so the director is the person who says, what is this story about? Really, is it a comedy? Is it a drama? Is it coming of age? That sort of thing. And then what elements do I need to put into that to create?
As a writer,
the vision
can you please repeat your name?
Yeah, Brad.
Brad?
Yeah.
Can Brad, director, tell totally different story made by Brad, writer?
Okay, things happen.
Okay.
You know, something may happen in the filming of the set last summer.
Okay.
So there was some serendipity. An actor might ad-lib a line, or there just might be a certain view that the cameraman takes on a scene, which opens up the possibilities. I obviously can't. I think, you know, the way I write as a prose writer, I don't think like a cinematographer. It's a completely different world. There are techniques that will appeal or come to a person who's more visual than I am, who can enlarge the story, and maybe not take it in a different direction, but add depth to something that I wasn't aware of. So it's screenwriting or movie making is a collaborative art, whereas it's me sitting at my computer, it's all in my mind. But as you bring other people in, they bring their experience, their skill set, and you'd be foolish not to be open to the possibilities that they can add to the story that you're trying to tell.
Thank you, Brad. Let me just get my charger. I think this will.
Oh, sure. I suffer that a lot, especially before my personal coffee. Yeah.
So, Let's go to the next slide. This is 101. So, okay, what's your favorite movie and why?
Oh my god, this one. I think the first one that comes to mind is The Sound of Music.
Okay.
I like it for a lot of reasons, but I think one of the main things I love so much about it is how it uses the music that's a part of the story.
Okay.
Especially like Edelweiss, one of the songs, is really tied to one of the characters, Georg, and he's trying to resist the Nazis taking over Austria, and they're trying to get him because he was a captain in the Navy or something. And Edelweiss is the national flower of Austria, and that theme, that song, that motif is tied to him. So the camera will go to him, and he's off thinking in thought, and you can hear that motif like in the background. Like there's a line where he's like, his fiance is next to him, and she's like, "Where are you? Like you're not here. Where are you?" And he's like, "I'm in a world that's disappearing." And you hear that.
What did the director do there? How many things has he or she who is how many steps they took? How did he achieve that? Okay, first, did he write the story?
I don't know. I'm not sure if the director is the writer of.
Okay. Who chose the actors?
I'm not sure. I don't know who the casting director is.
Okay, I'll ask you later. Anyone else? What's your favorite?
My favorite movie is Get Out by Jordan Peele.
Okay.
He wrote and directed that. And it's my favorite because I think it's really succinct. The script is really tight. And there's no plot holes or any like things that they kind of gloss over. Everything's really explained and wrapped up in a nice bow at the end. And I think I also really like the social commentary things. And I think Jordan Peele, I mean, he was on set for a lot of it. A lot of the behind the scenes photos are of him next to the camera. And he worked a lot on the shot composition because it's so important. And he also definitely worked on hiring the actors. I mean, this was a passion project for him after he split from Key and Peele to make this movie, and a lot of people thought he was joking. And then he won an Oscar for it. So I think that, I mean, and I think generally a director sets the tone on a set, and I think he definitely did that for this film. All of this behind the scenes stuff I've seen.
Thank you. We said most of the stuff, most of the things. We started with yours, imagining script into a visual form, speaking language of the film. Is everyone familiar with these terms here? So we can talk more about other stuff. Leading his crew and combining all these different elements into a movie. We know what a shot is, right?
Yep.
Shot, word, scene, sentence. We're basically speaking new language by combining different shots into sentences, sentences into a story. So this is a language that anyone in the world can understand, and majority of the world follow the same story structure, the same plot mountain. So it's only the ingredients we put in makes us unique and make our story. But the way we follow it is pretty much the same everywhere in the world. How do we get from here? I took Harry Potter from a reason I'll let you know in a couple of seconds. How do we get from here to here? How many steps it takes?
Oh God.
But if we had to go from million to up to 10, how many steps? How many stages? From million to up to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
10 million.
No, from million, 1 million, and now we need to turn that million into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. How many steps?
9 or 10.
We need to summarize it. It takes 5. Same amount, and you know this. Same amount of steps we need to make a burger. 5. We start with What is the first one? The new students, you need to know this. What is the first step in production?
Story.
How do we call that phase, stage? We call it development. Let's talk about burgers only. Development. What is development? What do we do when we want to make a burger? What is the first thing we feel?
Give the ingredients.
You're rushing, but you're going to be there. Next question is yours. First we feel what? Before research, we are hungry. We wanna eat something. We wanna create something. We wanna do something. Then we do what? Research. And then how we finalize that research? In a recipe. We're still in a burger world.
Oh, sorry.
We make a recipe. Next step, pre-production.
You buy it. You plan it.
Yep. You take your list of ingredients. You go.
To the market.
Okay, you bought the stuff, but you don't know at whose house you're gonna make a burger night. You need to plan that as well, right? What kind of setting, who you're gonna invite, etc., etc., etc. Then we go to pre-production. What do we do in pre-production in production in burger world?
The burger?
Yes, and only that. No, you're not assembling anything. You just grill the burger. Post-production.
Second.
What do you do when you're done with your burger?
We put the bun, put the burger in the middle of the bun.
You edit your burger, right? You're assembling a burger using a different style. And in that post-production, every burger is has same ingredients, but it depends on how well he's gonna assemble that burger. How well the colorists or color grading crew will be color grading. Sound is so we're like putting a makeup on our burger to make it more tastier. Then we get, thank God I ate like 25 minutes ago. Then we get to the distribution. What do we do in distribution with the burger? We give it to people I need it, and we're open to what? We're open to criticism, right? They can say, we don't like your burger, don't make it again, or we like it, can you make more next time?
Can you have a franchise burger?
Can you franchise it? Yes.
And a number of different types.
So, development in script writing is conceptualization, planning, and writing, which includes research as well, right? What is final outcome of development? If we had a recipe here, we have a script. What is a script?
It's a recipe, it's a blueprint.
It's a blueprint. Yeah, I love it. Blueprint, instruction manual, like IKEA, like Lego, like it helps you. It's not there to look pretty, unlike your writings. It's there to help you survive that process of production and give precise instructions without adding any ornaments or getting too deep into details. Then we get to pre-production. What do we do in pre-production? What does what is your kid doing in pre-production phase in LA? What do you think?
Well, I think it has to do with reading the script and then planning out how you're going to actually make the movie, what your location
Yes.
for your shots.
Who, where?
Yeah, the actors, hiring the actors that you want to use as far as that goes, and making a timeline, because oftentimes he doesn't have a lot of money, so he has to get a lot done in a short period of time. So he tries to make a tight
Yep.
timeline.
What do you think? Do you have anything to add?
Um,
Not you, please. Sorry.
Not really.
No? Okay. communicating with every department head, storyboarding and shot listing, casting actors, choosing locations, making a shooting schedule. When we go through this for the second time, you'll see it's all you, talking from director's perspective, until you get all this. It's not all that you need to do it, you need to lead it. Then we go into production. Staging and blocking, directing actors. So, who's this dude between Harry and Ron? Chris Columbus. What did he direct that we watch like 1,000 times a year? Home Alone. Can you compare, and I know you can because I know you all watched Home Alone, probably everyone watched Harry Potter. When you close your eyes, do you feel the same when you watch both movies?
No.
No?
I don't.
Do you have the same style of acting? Color? Camera movement? Do you feel that it's made by the same director? No? I'll play you a video of Harry Potter later, because I used Harry Potter to show you that Chris Columbus started it because he's not a father of that type of movies, but he nailed it with Home Alone. He nailed the genre of family movies. That's how Harry Potter started. When Cuarón comes later, or on 6th or 7th movie, you'll see same movie, same actors, totally different movie. I don't know, did you all watch all 7?
Yeah.
Did you feel when directors change how the feeling changed?
Yes.
Watch number 1. You can watch 3 minutes of number 1 and 3 minutes of when what's the name of, not Snape, when Sirius Black. Sirius Black is 6th or...
Yeah, I feel like the first, at least, I think the first 2 is when I noticed the first like change. The first 2 are very similar, and then Azkaban
Chris stopped
kinda-
working with it.
Yeah, and then Azkaban kind of changed over. I think even the color grading changed to like a cooler,
It's
darker tone.
It can have with that they're not kids anymore, so we can get more serious. But there's a lot about who's directing, because if all of us directed your script, that would be 10 different movies, right? Even if we followed all the directions, we would choose different people. We would do different under different conditions, different lighting, different music. And that's the production. Then we go into, who's your best friend here? You have,
Director of photography.
yes, best friend. People you need to respect the most are actors. But your best friend and someone who's gonna save your life is your DOP in production phase. I'll get back why in take 2. Who's your best friend in post-production?
Editing.
Editor. Best friend. Someone who can, DOP can destroy your movie and can make it better, but editor can destroy it, it can just help you, especially with the stuff that you didn't get to film or made mistakes. Write me if I'm wrong. And that's why you part of why you hate your job is writing someone else's wrongs, right? But the job of an editor is to save us all from getting fired on the next project. So be close to your editor, be close to your DOP. Music, sound and music departments, of course, but editor is the main role here, and not because we have editor here, it's because it's like that. And now distribution, screening and promoting your film, delivering your burger. How can we distribute? What are some ways to distribute our films?
This is more of like a modern take on it.
Okay.
And now like social media presence
Okay.
is like a very huge thing. I guess like maybe press coverage, probably for this time.
Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like a lot of, especially like independent filmmakers, have been posting their stuff online on short form media platforms such as
Mhm.
Instagram Reels and TikTok.
Our son entered film festivals all over
Okay.
the world.
That's a great, especially for a director. And sometimes when producers, and I'm telling you, this is good because I'll be talking about my experience in all these. My main producer doesn't care about this film anymore. He doesn't care. He might be jealous that I'm here talking to you and screening the film, but he doesn't care because he's getting no money from it. What is good for you as a director, you're not getting money as well for, you might get a screening fee or speaking fee, but you're not, all us who are below producers, we're not getting any money. But what we're getting is networking. That's why the film festivals are important for filmmakers, not for big fishes, because they already,
As the connections.
yeah. So that's film festivals. We have, what is another way? Streamers, right? TV, cinemas.
Yeah, Netflix buys a few short films.
Yeah. But for filmmakers, it's still festivals. You see people, you meet people, and you work on.
You hustle.
Yeah, because I got to, and it's always a friend of a filmmaker. A friend of mine was doing a movie in Sarajevo. He's an American war reporter. I was his associate producer. Then he had a movie in Fort Worth, Texas. Then he invited me to Fort Worth, Texas. Then I invited him to other places. Then he connected me to people here who recommended my film, and that's how I ended here. It's like, it's all small human connections that. So I'll play you. Did anyone watch my movie today? Anyone here? Okay, I'll play you trailer just so you get a hint of how it looks like, and then I'm gonna lead you through hell that I went through to make it, through 5 stages of production. This is a feature film called When Santa Was a Communist, and it's my first feature film. It's in Bosnian, and it's a co-production of 3 countries.
Rekli idemo program radi važnog obavještenja. Stigao vam je Deda Mraz. Potpuno nevjerovatna vesta. Deda Mraz u Bosni. Zaznavljati često može. Deda Mraz različe. Eto nas, eto i Deda Mraza, idemo, ja? Koji?
Tek ste malo došli. Razbijete malo ovu mrtvaj.
Kanim se ja odavno da napravim ovako.
This might end well after all.
No. Reci njoj da je ovo dobar znak.
On možda jeste izašao.
Jesi ti pravi Deda Mraz?
Jesam, a što pitaš?
Zato što sam malo moščani neko na televiziji.
Nam je danas više nego ikada potrebna ta mala, slatka čarobna.
You love photo.
Yes. A ova vam je kolegica iz Amerike.
Često.
Slatka.
Pesme, znaš što si ti? Ti si jedna obična.
To je dvoje mišljenje. Govorim ti ovo prijateljski. Niste vi ni trebali dolaziti tamo.
Aj živjeli i dobro došli u našu školu i u naš grad. Čekajte da nas. I ovo pravi da nas.
Okay, I'm gonna plug this up so I can. So that's my first feature. that I've been working on since 2016. To my defense, there was COVID as well, so it's a little bit less than 8-9 years, but it's been a while. I'll use it as an example because, and now I'm going to talk about director as a ninja warrior master of going over obstacles, because that's actually our job. That's what we do, and I'll use it. And interesting thing is, when I was getting ready for this, I was talking to a fellow director whose movie just went out. He went through the same. So at the same time we were filming it, I was filming in Europe. He was filming here. His was a Hollywood production, mine was independent European. And I was like, you don't have these issues. He's like, no, let me tell you. So basically, when you're indie, anyway, Europe, US, when you're on your own, same rules apply. So let's go. What helped me the most, and what I figured out just after finishing my first film, is workshop. So I went for 4 years studying directing plus 1 year of masters, and I didn't learn much. I knew I liked movies. I didn't learn as much as I learned from one summer in where FAMU is famed European film school from Czech Republic, where Miloš Forman went and a lot of European and American directors. They took like one student from each ex-Yugoslav country to a fast-paced workshop. They brought us in a room, they split us in different groups, and they gave us $100 for each group. And they said, you're about to make a movie in 5 days. Then what they did is, like Survivor, we would start working, we would write the script, and the guy will be like, okay, thank you. You would take that script, give it to her, take hers, give it to us, and say, continue. It's like a pretty hardcore. Then we work, and then they're like, okay, I have your color palette, you're doing it black and white. You need to get donkey to filming tomorrow, a real donkey. Where can we were film? We were doing that in Macedonia, a beautiful, beautiful country next to Yugoslavia.
Great wine.
So they had to go to different village to rent a donkey with that $100 you have. Then they brought a donkey. Then you're like, okay, you're using the donkey. Then they're like, or you have an editor, you'll be acting. And then you're in a whirlpool until you figure out 20 years, not 20, but 15 years later, that they took us through an obstacle course, which is process of filmmaking. Like always, that's why I call it a ninja warrior, because people are just, there's nothing sexy in filmmaking, nothing attractive, nothing. There is satisfaction, but while you're doing it, you're not, as my teachers would say, you put a scarf and a hat and you're a director. Like you're doing hardcore labor work in order to make it happen. So development, we said in development we're developing script, right? I was invited on a project. Some of the parts we need to cut out, but we'll talk about it later. I was invited on a project. I liked the premise, I didn't like the script. No one cared that I didn't like the script. They liked the way I was working on other projects before. In order to get a vote, I need to invest the money. I didn't have money, but I had a friend from that workshop in Ohrid in Macedonia, who in the meantime became a successful producer in a different country, in Serbia. I called her, I said, can you get me funds? Because films in Europe are largely state funded. Can you get me funds in your country She's like, let me see with my production company. They read the script, they liked it. Yes. I came back to the director, I'm like, I got brought the money. Can you tell your brother I'm the one in charge? Now, producer's brother wrote the original script. So I bought my spot.
You bought your seat at the table.
Yeah. And then as I was doing it, I knew 80% of cast, so that this is for future filmmakers. What the most beautiful thing is, if you are in a position, 90% you want to be, if you can, and if you're a writer director, if you can make tailor-made lines, tailor-made characters for actors you know, actors that you know have skills in certain things, best thing you can do is cast and then write. But don't promise anything to anyone. The worst thing is you promise to the actors, then they hate you, and it's not your fault because they're they're not in the project. Or what I did also is I did this in development and I did this in production. I watched not 100, little less than 100 movies that are similar to the movie that I'm making. And then I was writing down what I liked, what reminded me of. What kind of style am I looking for? Then when I went to top 3, I shared that with who do you think I shared that with?
Director of photography.
Okay, 1.
Editor.
2.
Producer.
No, I didn't share with them at this point. What do you think, editor?
Production. Production.
Casting director?
What kind of styles do we have? We have styles in editing, right?
Yes.
We have style in photography.
Right.
What is the most obvious style that we're actually looking at?
Acting.
Acting. Because I was doing an ensemble an ensemble movie, meaning I had 5 actors the whole time, plus guest stars that would be like for a day or 2. We needed to have a tight style, and we had it because we practiced and rehearsed every night. I'll get to that part. But for those guests, they would come from different backgrounds. Some are like comedians that slip on the banana, and then they try to do their stuff in your movie, and then it doesn't align, right? So I had my army of actors, and we worked, and they were like, "Can I tell you something?" Taking them like behind the curtains to explain to them they can't be acting that way because we have I had a good position that I filmed for a month and something in a small town, so we were all like a family. But that's something in the developing, also in the development, what helped me the most is harsh script doctor. Do you know what a script doctor is?
They come in and tear up your script and read it.
Yes, they treat you. You know that the movie, what's the name of Damien Chazelle's movie, Whiplash? Did you watch Whiplash? That was my script doctor for a year. I was living in New York at that time, like 4 years ago. Every day he would tell me like, it started with, okay, what do you want to make? I said this or that. In what style, this or that? He said he wanted me to tell you the patient has a chance or he's gonna die. I said, tell me the truth. He's like, it's gonna die, it died. And then, for a year, he was like, no. It's got like, literally hardcore, until one day he was like, this is good. It's not the best movie in the world, it's not the best script in the world, but this is good. This is what you asked me to help. He didn't write a word. He was just telling me what not to do. So when find a friend who will treat you that way. Find a colleague who will treat, because you got nothing from appraisal or saying this is good. Find someone, but find someone who suggests something, who doesn't say only this is bad. Someone who suggests something. And what is good that they when I was learning directing, we used this. We had among all other, we worked different. American, Asian, different methods, but there was this guy, a Yugoslavian dude, that wrote a book, where it says, the name of the chapter was Options and Decision. And he said, there are a zillion of options, but decision is yours as a director. So don't get your get your ego stand between you and you give me suggestion, you give me suggestion, you give me 10 of you, and I'm like, oh no, I know what I'm doing. You're big enough as well if you listen to the suggestions. If I take yours, then it's decision, then it's mine, right? So I had 12 options. I'm not stealing design, we're talking about suggestions. Maybe you should, and then, so decision, options, and decision. Listen to the options, make your decision. I had totally different beginning of a movie, and then when I was doing location scouting, the driver was, I said, did you read the script? He said, yes, I don't like the beginning. I said, what did you do? And no, he said it in like on one breath. I didn't like the beginning. I would started with this dude going into woods to illegally cut the Christmas tree. And I was like, what did you say? He said, I didn't like the beginning. I said, no, the other part. He's going into the woods to illegally cut the trees. I was like, okay, we're changing the shooting plan. This is how the movie actually starts, is with the guy with an axe going into the trees to cut the. So that's the development. Pre-production. You were talking about mood, style, and tone, right?
Yes.
When you're sure what kind of tone, you can also look for it with your director of photography, whoever is the closest person to you. Find the tone, share it with your heads of departments, because everyone needs to be, especially the actors. That's people forget about it because actors are usually good at what they're doing, and then they're there. And if you have any kind of style, if they don't align, if they misalign, everything falls down. So that's the style. What helped me is, so my best friend was DOP. I had luck that my DOP is also a Serbian dude that went through the same workshop with me. So 15 years later, we meet and work. We were in contact, but we never worked. What was good about it, he had 3 features, I had none. And I knew that, okay, he's my best friend, plus I'm gonna rely on his experience. That's a lifesaver. Don't go into war with your friend that knows nothing as you know, with zero experience as you do.
You already established a clear relationship. You can talk to each other,
yes.
trust each other. That saved a lot of time.
Saves a lot of time. Also, you need to know, they need to know to respect like the style you're going, because even director of photography prefer something different than doing. It's normal, everyone is seeing everything different, in a different way. They're gonna help you. Find someone experienced who's gonna lead you. It takes you first 3 days just to start. That's from my experience. And then you know what you're doing. But if you show up inexperienced with your best friend who's like also inexperienced, you're with the camera, with the wolves, which are like grip boys and sound guys, and people who have like 200 credits, and you know what? They don't care about your movie. They don't care. And then you're done. They make jokes, they actors, same thing. They're like, so that's the pre-production. Don't think you're the smartest. That's what I said, option and decision. And figure out what you're struggling with. Find one thing, we're still talking about pre-production. Find one thing you're struggling with the most. I was struggling the most with staging. And then, because the whole process took 6 months before I started filming, I was practicing staging with the kids that I was teaching film in LA. Like, why don't you, and then, like practicing, helping them making their movies, but trying out different things. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay,
So, yes.
how much time do we have?
It's supposed to be done like around like 4-ish.
Okay. Are you all okay with extra 10 minutes?
Sure.
So, and I worked only on that. Production, as said, it's your first, it's theirs, 100 movie, they don't care, make them care. Make them show that you care, try to meet all the people in your crew. It's not possible, but they hate you from day one, especially because you're director and they're there to work for you, and you don't know what you're doing, and you're supposed to be their boss. Be respectful, meet them all. When they know you as a person, they can't be that bad to you. They give themselves into the movie. Mate up with the pack leader among the actors. There's always one actor who's an alpha, actor or actress, doesn't matter, and then everyone is, when they're like, oh, we demand this, then everyone is, or we demand, or we don't. When you mate up with a pack leader, then the pack leader works for you, and they say, okay, let's do, when we get back to the hotel, we won't count this as time that we're going to get paid. Let's all rehearse. When you have them, things can get tricky with the pack leader because then they think they're directors in one moment. But that's the relationship that's worthy investing in. I had Hollywood star, screen legend, wannabe screen legend, child, which was my child, a dog, and my wife. So I had all types of actors in one crew. You need to have tailor-made approach to every actor you work with. Like different, you know their skills, you push them somewhere where they know, where you know they can. If they can shoot hoops, don't tell them to play soccer because they'll get frustrated. During production, producers, figure out where you can compromise, where you can't. This is where you're on your own, because sometimes you're the only one who sees how that movie will look like. They're the one who pays you. Don't compromise if it's for the price of a movie. Try to find a way. Offer them something else. Like, we don't have enough money, we need to finish earlier. I offered to cut out 3 scenes for them letting me blow something in the end of my movie. It ended up, I negotiated, they took out 3 scenes, but I got my explosion. So, and the last one is network. Network, and find the network not among the filmmakers. Among the filmmakers, yes, when I'm coming from LA, you're coming here to Williamsburg, or you're coming to LA and then we meet. But don't network with people from the same community, because everyone wants, don't hang out, but you won't get anything from fellow director from Williamsburg, because they're also trying to make their own movie. Editor is mingling with an editor from Williamsburg, you're fighting for the same job, right? Or whatever in the US. What worked for me is I started in college playing pickleball, which is like, people see it as an old people's sport. It's not. It can get really funny, and it's pretty active. Pickleball and karate are my 2 spots because those are people that might be also filmmakers, but they know you from different. They know you personally. They know you better. In pickleball, we play I play 3 or 4 times a week with the same people. We're all from the entertainment somehow, but some of the people are older, some are younger, but we matched on the court. So not. So it happened that I had a lot of success in, I needed a screening for this movie in LA, I got it like this. I needed someone important to watch this movie. Turned out that the guy I play with knows that person. Try to network throughout stuff that you never connect to filmmaking. And it's all, and also, yeah, in the post-production, I took my best friend as an editor, a guy I went to elementary school with, so we know each other because he told me, and you know when directors start freaking out, he told me, okay, this is my job now, get the hell out of here, let me make my own version. And he made it because he knew you need to have friend as an editor. I have another offer, a more successful editor than my friend who's director turned editor. He's a professional film director, but he teaches editing and he loves editing. Working with him saved me. So I hope some of the things that I told you help you. Hope you grabbed some of the notes.
I agree with what you said about the alpha among the actors. We had, my film was 3 people, 3 actors. One is much more experienced than the other 2, and I called him my first violin. He loved that. You know, he gave me very good insight on the script. I made a few script changes, which strengthened it. So I made use of his experience, but he was still the actor. But that showed I respected what he brought to the project, and his understanding of story was very deep. So that was paying respect to him without subjugating my director. That was the producer and the screenwriter. So we each had our part to play.
Thank you. That's the and it helped you, right?
Yes, oh, very much so. The ending was stronger because of his input. No doubt about it. Because I'm not an actor, and he understood the give and take between actors. How instead of him saying all 3 lines by himself, him saying this one, this actor saying this one, his saying that one, it gave a symmetry to the final scene, which was much stronger than what I had envisioned. That would have been stupid not to listen to me.
Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else want something to conclude or ask or say? Thank you.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
I enjoyed it.